everybody, and welcome back to the She Shed. Today I want to go through how I prepare my roving into the little bitty bits that I call my snakes to spin from to make spinning easier. And for this one I'm going to use the alpaca merino, and I really enjoy spinning this. So I'm going to be preparing this grey yarn, but I'm going to show you how to spin from a green version of this, which I've already started on the wheel, but I forgot to video me pulling it apart into the smaller bits. So I thought, oh well, I may as well do it with this one. So as you can see, it has got variety of colours. Hopefully when it spins up and is crocheted, because I crochet not knit, it will come out and look very pretty. This one is called Granite, and the green one that is on the wheel is called Moss. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so I've got my roving here. Now normally I do this standing up, but I don't have a very good camera at the moment. I don't have a camera stand, so I film all this on my phone. And I have to sit down because I can't put it anywhere to stand up. So what I would normally do is stand up, pull my roving out of the bag. There's the roving, and it comes in a very long, big, thick, long snake. Because I want to do this in two halves, so because I'm going to make a throw out of this with the silver and also another roving called Slate, and I'm going to make a throw, but I want the colours at one end and I want the colours also at the other end. So what I'm doing is halving. So I have half the colour at one end, half the colour at the other end. I do it at the same time when I'm spinning it so that I have the same even spin. What I've noticed is if I spin and then I go away for days, weeks, and then spin the other half, it doesn't come out the same. You could be having a bad day spinning and all of a sudden it's really fat, or an excellent day spinning and you got it completely even compared to what you had before. So I've noticed if I spin them at the same time, I'm generally going to get the same evenness. Okay. So sometimes when that frustrates me. Sometimes I'm just evening this all out. What they do is they weigh the yarn. So there's 100 grams in here. Obviously one complete roving didn't make 100 grams, so they've given me lots of little bits. So, two options: you can spin straight from the little bits and just draft it out, or you can try your best and see if you can make it into the smaller bits by just gently pulling. So yeah, as you can see, don't always succeed, so I'll do those later. Alright, so when I'm always pulling this apart, I always have a tub that I can put the little bits in. I don't put it on the ground. You never know what's on the ground. You could have lots of all sorts of different things, leftover yarn from something else that's fallen off, just general crap on the ground. So unless you're going to vacuum and polish every single day, there's going to be something on the ground. So basically what I do is I get my two ends. This is a really bad one because I've got lots of bits, so I'm going to have a fun time with that. But anyway, get your two ends, pull them together so they're even. You'll get to the middle bit and just gently pull that apart. So you're splitting them into two shorter bits. Now the reason why I do this, like I said, is what I'm trying to do is make two 50-gram balls from the 100-gram. Okay. But because I've got so many little bits, and this is another bit while I'm frustrated about this, is now I'm going to have to get out the scales and weigh this up so I have 50 grams and 50 grams. So let me grab my scales. I just use any old scales. I have a pair of electric scales that I use. Very simple, straightforward. And I would start with one of my long bits, and I wind it up, and then I put it on the scales, and then just literally add the bits to it until I've got to 50 grams. Nearly there. Okay, 50 grams exactly. So this left bit here is going to be the remainder of the 50 grams. So I put one lot away so I don't get them all mixed up. And start on this. So I have pulled this apart in two ways. I have gone from the middle, or I've gone from the end. Now sometimes when you go from the end, it works beautifully and it'll pull right evenly down. But when sometimes the the roving says, I want to be pulled from the middle. This one I have tried both with. When I start with all of them, I try with both. So I try and spread it apart to make it easier to pull apart. So I make it wider. I hope you can see that. You can see I'm making it wider. And this makes it flatter and hopefully get a more even pull. Now sometimes when you're pulling it apart, it'll just come off halfway through. There we go. All right. And then I pull it in half. Put that aside, get it again, and pull it in half. Put one bit aside, and just keep repeating this until you have it at the size that you like. Another. Okay, so some wools, you might end up buying the same roving over and over again because you really like it, and therefore you want to use it all the time, and you'll learn what you can get to what size, or what size works for you for when you're spinning. So some people might like this size and they want a fat yarn, so they might spin straight from this without drafting this out. If I used this, I would draft this out to be thinner, or I can look at it and go, oh yep, I reckon I could get this in half. So I don't want to spin it that fat, and I'm trying to make life easier, so let's see if we can go. and that's the size I like. And that gets a nice, about a 4 needle or a 4 hook is what, that's Australian. I don't know in US or what letter that would be. I always use a conversion table. If I get a different style of hook that has a different numbering system to what I'm used to. So that's the size I like. So then what I do is I put it in my tub and I just keep adding to my tub. Alright, so that's a nice size, and I'll add that one to my tub. And this one here, yeah, I'll try and halve that one. Now some of them you'll go to halve and you'll just like, no, that didn't work. So when you go to spinning, if you find that that's a bit too skinny, just join it with the previous one you're spinning and draft on it. Wool likes to hug itself, so it wants to be together, and it will just join on to each other and you can draft from that. So there's another 2. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so there's my tub of roving in little snake bits. So now on to spinning. Okay, so you'll notice that I've changed colour. This one I had already on the wheel and already prepared, but I wanted to show you how to split your yarn up, your roving, into the snakes. That's what I call them. So here's my moss alpaca merino, and you can see that it's in all the little skinny bits. And I'm going to show you how I spin the skinny bits onto this yarn, so you can see how it's quite even there, whereas I found if I was doing it straight from the roving, I wasn't getting it as even, and also my tension was really tight. I just found it really hard to let go, and I was drafting really badly. So I find this a lot easier because you don't have to draft so much, and you're just doing little skinny ones to even it out. So let me set up the camera and show you. Okay, so hopefully you can see that okay there. That's the stuff I've already done, already spun up. Alright, so hopefully you can see my hands clearly. And, oh, I need to move the bucket out of the way, sorry, there we go. Alright, let's get going. So as I mentioned before, I spin clockwise. Alright, so as you can see, hopefully, okay, so pretty much when you've already prepared the yarn before you start spinning, you're just really guiding it in and just making sure by feeling it that it's the same tension all the way through. You'll see that I guide my fingers down and I use them just to feel. Often I go off in La La Land and I start looking around and I literally am not even watching it, I feel it. And I sometimes, well actually more often than not, I do a better, more even yarn by not watching it and seeing what's going on and just feeling what's going on. But do whatever works the best for you. You'll notice I tuck my little pinky in it as well. I use that, I find, as like another feeler. So I've come to a slightly bigger bit, so you'll see I'm drafting it out a bit more. And you might notice, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not pumping the wheel. I am very calm and slow on the pedal. There is no need to go really fast. Obviously it depends on your wheel, but with mine I don't need to go fast at all. If I go any faster than this, I will have a really, really tight yarn, and it won't be soft, it'll be too tight and all spun up and spinning on itself. So for example, that's a nice good tension, but if I went really any more than that, it would be all tight throughout the whole yarn, and really difficult to knit or crochet with. Trust me, I've tried. I did it really tight, I crocheted with it, and it was the most uncomfortable garment I've ever made. It was just a beanie, but it was not soft and fluffy. It was so hard is the best way to say. So yeah, that'll take practice. It's just practice. I am still nowhere near perfect, but every time I sit at the wheel and every time I play, and I do this every day, I find it very relaxing, very meditative. I also actually, I shouldn't say this out loud because now I'll have a problem. I've also, since I've started spinning every day, I haven't had a migraine, and I suffer from bad migraines, so maybe there's something in it. Touch wood. I don't get one now I've said that. So I just want to get to the end of this bit and show you how I connect the two together. Now, I'm still not an expert at this connecting business, so I leave a tail, get my next one, sometimes it's a bit hard to find your next one. Alright, there we go, and then I line it up. I don't go to the very tippy end. I find that it'll ball up and it won't catch quick enough, so I actually go up a little bit further, and then I hold them together, and that seems to allow enough room or area for the wool to want to grasp onto each other and get a nice seamless join. It doesn't work every time for me. I'm still getting the grips with that. Anybody got any tips and tricks to make it a lot better? But I did find that if I go to the end, doesn't grape and have a nice seam, nice join, as if I go further up. Hope that makes sense. Alright, and then just start spinning again. Oh, we've got a Maggie bomb. Hello, Maggie. Okay, Maggie's telling me I have to finish, so I will leave it there. And thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.